Hey, it's Chet Wasinski. Welcome again to another Wealth First Masterclass. This is the sixth in my series of 10. Today, we're going to talk about how we can turn every buyer into a long term client. Most agents disappear after the closing, wealth advisors don't. That's what sets us apart. Why is it that agents lose clients? Most treat the transaction as the end and not the beginning. And think about this. Think about how much effort you put in to acquiring that client, whether it was a listing or a buy side transaction. You put in a lot of effort to build up enough trust so they chose you as their agent. Clients forget realtors who don't stay involved. Wealth advisors know the real relationship starts after closing. So let's lay out a quick strategy on what we should be doing. It's a very predictable plan, very easy to follow. It's a post closing plan. First, do a 30-day check in. Just call, find out how they're doing. Are they getting settled? They get the furniture they wanted, the curtains. They having any issues with setting up their payment plan or anything like that? Then 6 months later, check in, just do a quick early equity growth. Have some opportunities to talk to them about maybe some other properties that have sold in the neighborhood and what they sold for. Just give them a feel for how well they're doing so far. And then finally, 12-month check-in, where we do our first wealth review. By doing this, these replace random follow-up with structured value and also give you additional opportunity for referrals. Show clients how their mortgage builds wealth. We talk about this a lot, and I can't emphasize it enough. Teach amortization. Yes, they're making a payment. A small portion of it is going to paying down that principal, but that's still much better than renting and paying someone else's mortgage. Talk about equity growth. Talk about appreciation. Talk about the projections that we're hearing for our area. It's stuff on the news that you hear all the time. Just little tidbits will make it very helpful. Again, use tools. I use HomeBot and total cost analysis, amortization schedules. I have a lot of tools that are available, but get your lender to provide these materials for you. You want to be able to show them on paper the kinds of things that you're talking about. You may even want to consider doing a joint call with your lender. This is where you move from realtor to wealth advisor. After closing, your role becomes strategic. Remember, you want to become their resource for their journey in creating wealth. Start talking to them about the latest going on in the market. Maybe talk to them about what they can be doing. HELOCs. When might be the best time to refi? Is there some investment opportunities? Or is there some move up planning that they want to do? Clients stay loyal when you guide their long term decisions. Use this exact messaging system. Educate. Say things like, here's what your equity looks like today. Here's what we think it may look like in 6 months. Empower. Hey, here's how you can use that to build that wealth. Just start planting some ideas in their minds. Get them to think about it. And then finally, invite. Always say, look, you want me to run your latest updated wealth snapshot? These conversations create natural, authentic conversations. Give every buyer a one-page equity roadmap. Include on this roadmap a 1-year projected equity, some 3-year goals, 5-year wealth opportunities, key decision points. Start the process of helping set their mindset on what the next move is and in what time frame for them to start achieving those goals. The annual wealth review, I can't emphasize more. This is your annual signature move. You call and say, hey, it's time for your annual wealth review. When do you have some time so we can go over it? Then when you get them on the phone, on a Zoom call, review that equity, review that appreciation, any new potential opportunities. This is how referrals show up naturally. Start doing a little bit more on social media. Maybe do a Wednesday Wealth Wednesday post. Talk about what's going on. Just doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit of what's going on in the market. But if you do it consistently, then your customers and other potential customers are going to start following you just to see that what's going on. Do market updates, maybe a quarterly state of the market, a Zoom call, or some other newsletter of some sort. Annual events, do checkup events like we talked about with their first year's wealth review. Talk about regular homeowner content. It doesn't all have to be about wealth. It could be about other things that are going on in the area that they're living in. This keeps you relevant and top of mind without having to sell. Referrals are more important to us today than ever. If you start talking about scripts and build them into your normal conversations, they become referrals without a lot of pressure. Talk about things like, if anyone you care about wants to grow their wealth, send them my way. I'd love to run a wealth snapshot for your friends or family. Again, this builds referrals without the pressure. Close with confidence. When you show up after closing, you become their lifetime wealth advisor. Invite them to connect. Make sure to ask them to follow you on social media. Reinforce the mission, helping families build generational wealth through real estate. I hope this class was helpful again. Please get in touch with me if you have any questions. You can get me by phone, email, direct message, whatever. Next week's class, I'm going to break down how to run a wealth-centered buyer consultation. Thanks again for watching. Please follow and like if you're finding these useful, and I'll see you next time.